and welcome to the Song of the Month. The song of the month I chose, believe it or not, is not a song that I typically like to play. I'm not really a big fan of the song, and I know a lot of people are, but you're going to hear the version that I actually like because when I think about this song and I've heard many people do it, they all have a very similar taste in the song. It's a very similar flavor, and most people obviously are familiar with the Frank Sinatra version. Frank Sinatra, believe it or not, actually did not like the song. It's interesting. Don taught a class recently on Strangers of the Night. He also didn't like that song,
Right. Yeah.
and those were big hits for him. And the reason why he didn't like it was, and he quotes, it says he always thought that the song was self-serving and self-indulgent. He didn't like it. That song stuck, and he couldn't get off of his shoes. So, but what's interesting about, and I've done this in one of my previous Song of the Month, I mentioned this, I love the way people can take a song and totally change it. And one example I use is there is a there was a series called Willow that was like a continuation of the movie from years ago. And at the very end, right before the end of one of the episodes, they play a song from a rock group called Metallica. And most people would not know it was their song because they took their arrangement and they put it into a nice classical guitar sound, and it was so pretty, and a lot of people didn't realize it. Well, this song was actually featured uh, in a movie called Happy Feet. Now, if any of you are familiar with the animated series Happy Feet, it's a movie about penguins, basically. And there's basically the son of Memphis and Norma, which was the characters in the movie, played by Nicole Kidman and the Australian guy who did Wolverine. What's his name? Jackman.
Hugh
Okay.
Jackman.
Yeah. So their little sweet penguin Mumble has a big problem. He can't sing a single note. Well, that's a big problem in this movie because everything evolves around the penguin singing. In a world where everyone needs a heart song to attract a soulmate, that's pretty big. Mumble feels he doesn't belong there, so our hero Mumble is the worst singer in the world, but he can tap dance. And so this whole movie is about him finding and discovering himself and being himself and being able to fit in just being who he is. And I thought it was a very clever. I wanted to pick a song and dedicate it to my wonderful heavenly child, and I thought, and I have to pick a song that I knew that my students would appreciate as well. So I was like, oh, this song, no, no, I don't think Lady Gaga is going to be. She had a wide variety of tastes, trust me. From Lady Gaga to Elvis to AC/DC to Katy Perry to I mean, it was all over. So I wanted to pick one, and I thought, and I remember this one. She sang a lot in the car, and you'll see why because I'm going to play a little snippet of it. It's about a 2 minute long. So it really makes perfect sense because basically a lot of the movie, the one of the moral of the movie is that being who you are and being accepted. So I'm going to play a video clip, and I'm going to ask you to pay very close attention because I can't tell the volume. Joni said you could hear it. What you're going to see in this scene, I'll explain it so you, when you see it, you know what's going on. It's also kind of ironic because it's sung, this song, this version is sung by Robin Williams. So I guess I could dedicate it to him as well. And what happens is Mumble, the one that wants to win the heart of this other penguin that he wants to track, he starts singing and he starts dancing and singing. But Robin Williams is behind him doing the singing and Mumble because he can't sing, is lip syncing. But the voice that you hear the whole time, so he's kind of fooled her into saying that he could sing. So I'm going to play that clip. It's only about 2 minutes long. And what you're going to see is the clip starting with some songs. They're kind of singing along. And then it goes into Robin Williams' version of My Way. Now, My Way, by the way, the lyrics were changed in this. I'll explain it in a minute, but let me see if I can get it. Hopefully I do this right this time. This is really clever. Okay. So before I start, make sure everybody can see that. You can see that okay?
Yes.
Okay. Let me move this so I can see it. All right. All right, so it's going to start off in this particular scene. It starts off doing some other music before they go into My Way.
Sometimes it makes me wonder how I keep from going under.
Midnight creeps so slowly into
Wait for it.
hearts of those who need more than they get. Daylight deals a bad hand.
So you can see they're all trying to win her heart by singing to her.
Has laid too many bets.
Make love to you like you want me to, and I'll hold you tight, baby, all through
The mirror stares
So they're all trying to sing to win her heart. Now here it comes.
baby. It don't work. You say your prayers, though you don't care. You say your prayers,
Here we go.
you don't care.
Here it is. That's Robin Williams singing. Behind him, you can't see it.
Nuestro amor divino. Mis amigos, les declaré, les diré que estoy seguro.
Oh, hi, Gloria. Hola. Hola.
Es un hombre sin nada más, sin un señor,
is you.
con lágrimas.
Sure, it's me. You like?
Debe decir,
I would
debe
if it were
gritar,
really you, yeah.
debe sentir,
It is me. Sorta.
Yeah.
en la verdad,
Turn around.
llegaré.
Why? What's
Why not? Oh. What do you know?
Gloria?
Yeah.
How could you?
Hello.
I know size can be haunting, but don't be afraid. I love you.
Movie.
So that was the scene there. That's actually Robin Williams singing. Now the words are changed. You heard he did it in Spanish. Actually, the words are rewritten, which I thought were really clever. Obviously, it was for the movie, and so I'm not. I'll put up a few of them just so you could see. And uh-oh, hold on, my YouTube is running on my. There we go. Get rid of that. Get rid of that YouTube. Get rid of that YouTube. Okay, so I'll just show you a few of the words here, which was kind of clever. I actually absolutely fell in love with this. There we go. So you could see, no, and then it goes, you say, termo. It's in Spanish. It says, I know it was completed. These are the translations. Our love, divine. I will tell them it's all about love, 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 love. So, obviously they changed the words, even though they're in Spanish, and they did it to fit the movie. So what I'm going to do is that version, pretty close to that version, we're going to start off with something kind of rumba, and it's going to kind of spice up towards the end. I'm really excited about the arrangement. It's really fun, and I thought, what better way to honor my daughter than having something really celebratory. So what I'm going to do is play the song for you first, then I'm going to put the setups and kind of go through it, okay? So now you'll notice that in the beginning of the song, I created the intro like I heard on there, okay? And I'll explain it, but let me see if I can, I'll see if I can do this. Well, I'll just get to it. Let me play it first. Here we go. hopefully that sounded okay after all that sound check. So you could see it went in from nice kind of a slow rumba feel. It went into a little bit of samba and a mambo. And I kind of have a little fun with that. Actually, I actually re-like this song all over again. So let me start by talking about the music that I sent you. Let's see here, which I think looks like this. It's kind of weird on the screen for some reason when I combine them. So the intro, I kind of took a play on how he did it in the song, which in the beginning goes da 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 da. You know, he does all of that. And what I did is in the first setup, which I'll show you in a minute. Whoops. I put it freestyle because I wanted to make sure you understood you don't have to be so on time to get this right. So these notes are the melody notes that are played, and then these chords here, you can kind of play it however you want. Okay, so if you have this music, this intro, that's what I did. And I played freestyle on purpose. So let me kind of just show you how I did that. Trying to get this stop screen. There we go. So in the beginning, the first setup that I'll show you, it's going to sound like this. It's actually a rumba beat. A rumba style. But I'll go into what I did. So while you're playing, you can play the notes. You can start off and play it however you want. But if you're one of those that's not really on time, it's going to work. Okay, so hopefully that makes a little sense, the introduction. Now, I don't know if I would use that introduction with a standard My Way setting. It's not gonna sound right. If you like it, I guess you can do whatever you want. So, let me go back to the music, and if some computers, for some reason, depending on the type of computer, sometimes it doesn't show up properly. So if you got the music that's why I put in both copies, so you could see the difference too. So if you got the music, these numbers represent where I did the changes in the preset. Okay? So you'll see one. I'll go through it with you first. It's pretty simple. So the first setting I do here, and I do the intro that I just showed you. Okay? So now, I start the first part of the song, I go through, and I play through the song, and you'll notice I put a number 2 here. A lot of times I always put it at the beginning of a measure. You're going to notice, and I'm going to mention this, in this song, I didn't like to change the preset right on time. I did it while I was playing. So sometimes I changed it here. Sometimes I'll change it in here. It's okay. Just change it somewhere while you're playing the notes. I wouldn't try to do 2 at the same time. So as I'm playing through, I play the first part just as is written. And then somewhere in here, I put the second preset on. Sometimes I'll do it here. Sometimes I'll do it here. Doesn't matter. And then I keep playing through as it's written, and then you'll see right here it has the repeat. Okay? And then I just do just that. I go back to the beginning, and I repeat. And somewhere in here, either right in here or here, that's why I put it in both places. It doesn't have to be exact on time. That's the beauty of this arrangement, that if you just kind of push it at some point, if you're setting up the presets yourself in advance, and you just push it at some point, it'll naturally blend in. And then if you go to number 3 here, and you play it through, and you'll see here, I put 4 here on the repeat, so you didn't get confused with that, okay? And then you play through, and then it comes through here. Now you'll notice on here, the way I played it is that on the second ending of the first page, I played these notes with the trumpet, and I started playing this note, and then at some point, I put 5 here, but at some point, I put 5 on somewhere in this measure. Again, this is going to work if you take the settings and you reset, you reprogram your presets. Okay? So, and then I just play it through. Now, the original music, when I say original music, the original music of this version, it wants you to play towards the end here, and then it wants you to go back to the beginning of the song and repeat the whole thing all over again. I chose not to. I chose to use the version that I heard from Happy Feet. And what they do is they play all the way, he's saying it all the way through, and he gets to this first ending here, and what he does is he repeats this part here a few times, and the song builds up, the background builds up, and it just kind of gets more exciting and more exciting until the very end. And so that's exactly what I did here with these presets. So basically what I'm doing is I'm repeating this section 2 or 3 times, and then I'll finish off. You'll notice that when I'm ready to finish, I did finish off at the bottom. Okay? So that's the reason for the 2 versions. Now, if some of you like the classic version, it'll tell you what to use. And you'll see I took off some stuff in there so you wouldn't get confused. Okay? So here's the actual settings that I did. And I had finalized it this morning. I'm going to put it up on the screen. This will go up on Patreon tomorrow night. Okay? Let me pull up. So make this bigger for me. All right. Everybody see that in red letters? It says use category preset. Somebody shake their head. Joni, thumbs up.
I didn't get that.
I didn't send that one out yet because I was still finalizing it, and then this morning there was a couple changes I made at the last minute. So I am going to post this on Patreon tomorrow night, but I would take notes. Now, I'm going to tell you, it actually is not that complicated of a setting, purposely. All right, so let me start with the first setup. What you see in red is the sounds that I used and then the rhythm style. Let's start with the rhythm, the preset. So what you'll see there is it says I chose Latin category preset number 2. Now Latin category preset number 2, if you have it, if you have to set it up manually, it's not that hard. But if you have it, Latin category, it'll automatically set up this guitar, the Spanish guitar for you. What it won't do is it puts like a cornet or something in the solo. So all you have to do is just remember to change the solo sounds. I put a trumpet lead and a trumpet shake in there on purpose. Now, I don't use the trumpet shake until later on, but these are the 2 sounds that I use for this sound, this setup. The guitar on the top and the trumpet on the bottom, I use for 6 setups. So once you have that set, you don't have to change a lot of sounds after that. The magic is all in the rhythm style. I was really listening to the arrangement, the original, the Happy Feet version. And I kept going back and listening to it and see how they built. And I wanted to kind of create some of that same flavor and personality. So we'll get to that in a second. So all you have to do is put on your Latin category preset or setup number 2. And then that'll give you it'll automatically put the guitar on the top. And then in the solo section, just press one of your solo buttons. The trumpet lead is what I use mainly throughout the song, but I have the trumpet shake in there. You'll hear it at some point. Now this is very important to me. Because of this setup, I also turned on the keyboard touch or the dynamic keying feature. So when I'm playing, I like the dynamics of hitting harder or softer the keys. The same thing with the trumpet. Now, most people have difficulty with that, but because of the way this arrangement is, it's sensitive enough that you can play the notes, and it'll give your trumpet and your guitar that more authentic sound by having that touch feature. So by having that, you can, okay? It gives you that ability to do that. And I use this feature throughout the song. Now let's talk about the rhythm. So first thing, I did it this way purposely. First thing I did is set up the sound the way you want on the upper and the top keyboard. Then I went to the rhythm style and I chose Rumba Begin. And I have it at 112. Okay? Once you set up that rhythm, if you press all of those buttons that you see there, auto bass off. So I went over and I turned off the auto bass. Let's see, drum volume. So if you have your drum volume, I just turned it all the way down to 0. So there is no drummer.
Alter style off.
And I made sure alter style was off. It should be off automatically, but if you're using the instrument, you have it on. I just make sure it's off. And then it says basic. Some of you have the basic button or the genie only, so no orchestra plus. And what you'll get is you'll go from this type of sound to this. Okay? And you'll notice that I purposely, and I put it in there, no lower left hand sound. Left hand is an accompaniment sound. The magic is going to be the accompaniment in the instrument built in. So if I had the left hand sound on, at this point, here's what would happen. I'd have that chord holding. And I didn't want that. I wanted just a nice guitar sound. And then on the top, you have your Latin guitar, your Spanish guitar, and you have this. Now, one other thing that I did, and I didn't put it in here purposely, but the recording that you heard and the recording that's out there, Robin Williams' version, is he sings it in the key of E. I'm playing it in the key of E. I went back and played it in the key of C, and it also worked nicely. So you can transpose to E. You can transpose to E flat, whatever one you want, but I'm playing it in E. And I purposely didn't put it out there because what I noticed is it sounded pretty good either way. Okay? Or to my ears at least. So that very first setup sounds like this. Okay? And then we play the notes. Just really a nice, elegant. It's amazing how a lot of Latin beats, you can take a lot of songs. If you choose the right Latin beats, they really work nicely. Okay? So I'm going to put this up here for now. This is you're all going to get. Now check this. Look at the next 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Look what's happening in there. The magic in the arrangement is the band. You know, take Frank Sinatra, all these wonderful hits he sang, but he also had some phenomenal arrangements because of the bands and the orchestras that he had backing him. Uh-oh, did my camera freeze? Yep, I forgot to put my camera on airplane mode. So when it rings it, all right. So I'll very quickly go through that. You'll see it says drum on the second preset that I saved. After I got the first one out of the way, I got the sound that I wanted for the melody. I got the rhythm. The rest of it's really simple, especially 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Because you see, all I did is I turned on the drummer, the drum variation, And then the altar style, it's off, but I wanted to make sure everybody knew it's still off. So the first setup goes from this. And at any time you're ready, if you're saving, okay? Very subtle. All I did is bring in the drummer basically with the drum variation on. So what happens, it goes from this. While I'm playing, okay, and you can hear a little bit of the castanets in there, what have you. All right. Number 3, boy, that was a tough one. I just turned on the altar style. And all that changes is a little bit of how the drummer is. The drummer kicks in and there's still castanets. And then on number 4, I bring in a little bit more of the band by turning on the orchestra and bring in the bass. So it was just a nice gradual flow in the background. So while you're playing it, I'm not pushing 2 yet, but watch. And on the bottom keyboard, I play the trumpet whenever I want. That's why I have it there. Number 3. Now watch what happens when I bring in 4. So you can see on the next setup, I gradually...
Robert,
Yes.
I just realized your video is in reverse image. So it looks like your rhythm is on the right-hand side instead of the buttons instead of on the left.
I think that's a video setting on my side is correct. Let me see here. I can go to video. Where's my video?
It's definitely reversed.
It says mirror my video.
So I wondered why you were playing the upper keyboard, but the chords weren't changing. Or were changing.
How does it look now?
Still the same.
How about now?
Same.
The same.
Okay. Let me try this camera view.
There.
There you go.
Now it's changed.
I think there's something wrong with the app that I'm using.
Yep, that's good.
Yeah. Okay, that's weird. I don't know why that. I think something's wrong with the app. Okay, so where was I? Okay, so the setup. Let me pull the screen sharing back up here. back to the setup. Setup, where are you? My setup info. Okay. So you'll see here, I went through the first 4 or 5 setups, but in my setup that I saved in number 5 and 6, they're very similar. Okay. But I switched to the samba. Same tempo. The alter style's off and the drum variation off. That's the only difference in that setup there. Okay, on number 6, I just turned on the drum variation. So when you hear it, here's 4. As I'm playing the notes, and then I hit it so I can go to the So I save my preset so that when I go into it, it's automatically in there. And I have the same 2 setups the whole time, okay? Now, the band doesn't change much on 5 and 6, except for the drummer, just a little bit. And you can see it's kind of picking up a little bit more, all right? Now, number 6, I didn't put it on here, but I will when I post it. Remember earlier I said, you can use the trumpet shake if you set it up in advance. And that's what I did. Okay, and I still have the guitar. Now, let me show you what I did. Let's see here. Stop here. Let me pull up the music here. Revise. All right, so you have that on the screen. I'm going to grab one little thing here. Give me just a second. All right, so you see the music here. You can see where I did a lot of, all right, do I have the right one on here? Where is it? Sorry. Okay. All right, y'all see that there?
Yes.
Okay. I have so many things open on my computer. All right. So you see here, it says to repeat this, but there's something fun that you can do with this. Okay? And the way the song is, when they're playing, they're singing, the arrangement they do, they have in the background all the singers, they're going da 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 da, and then he starts singing ba ba be dee ba. He starts singing all these unique things. I think that's why my daughter liked it. Robin Williams had a way of making it fun. It said they'd go na 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 na, and he go cha 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 cha, and they go na 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 cuckoo cuckoo, and then they go na 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 ba ba be doo ba. He started doing all these funny little things. So if you want to create that effect, here's what's really cool about this. These notes right here, the very first note of each measure, you can have some fun with by playing those notes and tapping it out. So watch. So you could do something like this. I'll play the fifth setup. So you see, I'm just taking the first note, and you can kind of tap it out however you want. In fact, if you don't even play the other notes, you're okay. Just as long as you're changing the chord with the note. So the first note, D minor and C, G and B, just. So you can really have a lot of fun with that, where you can improvise very easily without hitting wrong notes. It's very clever how they did that. And on the last setup, you'll notice, put it up on the screen here, the last two setups, I switched to a mambo. And I even switched the sound that I used. So here's, it goes from 6, 5 and 6 to a samba, which is really nice. And then it picks up, bring in the mambo. Really has that nice, good Latin flavor to it. And you'll notice I picked the mambo. I told you what I put there, alter style off, drum variation on auto bass 1. But the setups I used for these last two setups was the category Jazz 0. Now, and what it sets up is the brass section, the trumpet shake, and the 8-foot strings, and it puts in a 5-part harmony. And on the bottom, it puts on the growl saxophone. And I have that set up for the last two. And you'll notice on number 8, it says put on the alter style and the auto bass. So here's 7. Now here's 8. It just really kind of kicks in for a nice, good finale type effect. Looking for one little thing here, and I couldn't find it, but it'll have to do without. I'll leave that up for another second there in case you want to write it. Now, again, I'll post this up tomorrow night.
Did you also put on there somewhere that you should lock your tempo?
Well, yes, if you're saving the presets, you're okay. I use the same tempo throughout the entire song, which is 112. Okay? Now, if you stop the rhythm and you go to another rhythm, it's going to reset the tempo. So if you want to be on the safe side, you could use the tempo lock while you're saving the presets. But my thing is this. Set up the organ with these setups first, then go back and play the song. I got to find one thing here. I've been trying to locate this without disrupting the class. I wanted to see if I can do this. There we go. I have a bag full of trinkets here. Aha, there you are. Now, are there any questions before I finish up here? Any questions? I wanted to keep it really simple. Oops, let me go back to this so everybody has a chance to write that. Okay.
Robert?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, on where you have 6, 7, and 8, then you keep going back to that, where the D minor 7 is, and then the last time around, you'll do the second ending, and then that bottom is at the end of the song then, at the very end.
Yes. Let me
Yeah,
pull up the
okay.
music. It's a good question. Let me go. Let's see.
First, I thought you were going to end up there where it says 6, 7, and 8 would be your last
No.
one. But
So what I do is I play the song. The first part, I play it kind of as it's written. Not kind of, I actually play it as it's written. Okay? And then when I get to the second page and I'm on my 5th setup, I play it through here. And I keep playing it. I play to here. And I kind of go to this first ending. And I added these little repeat signs in there.
Okay.
Okay? And I basically put her, and that's why I put this asterisk. So what I'll do is I play, and then when I get to here, I put in my 6th setup,
Right.
and I go back to this, and I play it again. And when I get to here, I do my 7th setup. Okay? And then here I get to my 8th setup. I'm building it. Okay? And then on my 8th setup, then I skip to the bottom.
Right.
Okay, and there's something I kind of do at the end here. Now I'm going to try something here, which is going to lose my camera temporarily. I want to see if this works. If it doesn't, I can be very quick. I'm very sneaky and quick about these things. It's really fuzzy. All right, hold on. Hang tight. All right. Okay. I didn't rehearse this. All right, can you hear that?
Mhm.
Okay, now here's the actual original. It's only 1 minute and 30 seconds long. So listen to the end when they do da 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 da, and then Robert Williams go baby baby. It's kind of cute, but kind of see where I wanted to build the song similar.
Sin nada más, sin un señor, con lágrimas.
What a perfect person for this song.
Debe gritar, debe sentir, en la verdad, no llegaré, sobresalir, y cha 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 cha. No le gusta.
Extra charge for this, folks. I just thought it was a very clever arrangement. So you could see that was kind of my inspiration for switches. So at the very end, I think I kind of did it. Let me switch cameras here back to the one that's not going to be backwards. All right. So at the very end, notice that at the very end, what I actually did in this, the way I played it, I actually played it several different ways. Oh, my camera's frozen. What's going on? Cameras, action. Oh, come on, camera.
Hi.
Give me a second, folks. I think this one's going to be backwards. Let's see. Okay, am I back? Am I backwards?
Yes.
I am backwards?
No.
No.
You're not. You're okay.
All right. So, am I still? No, I'm not frozen. So, at the very end, what I do is I use the fill-in of the mambo, and then I stop it, and then I play the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 notes. So something like this. can take your time, catch yourself, find your place because I lost my spot. You can have a little fun with that. Or if you want to do both, I've done it this way, and it's kind of a. And then I end with ending 2, because 1 is very common. It's a very popular, commonly used one. Okay? So I'll play it one more time, but I'm going to add a little bit of spice to it the way I play it. I'm going to have a little fun towards the end. I want my gal to hear me across the plains of the universal. Let's see if I can move this. Okay. I don't know if that's a better view or not, but any questions? None? That's good. I wanted to keep the setup simple too. So even if you didn't, you had to create it on your own. It was pretty simple. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tidy up my notes. I'm going to do a recording of the song today, get everything finalized, and then if I get it done in time today, it might be up in tonight's Patreon post, so you could have it right away. If not, it'll definitely be tomorrow. Okay? So I'm going to start off again from the beginning. The one other little thing that I added at the end, I didn't mention it. It's kind of optional, but you can have some fun with this. Let me find the intro. Okay. So you notice in the intro, okay, it has these notes. C, B flat, C, C, D. And then the B flat, it says B flat, A, G. Actually, I actually rolled down all of the notes. You can go roll down every one a note. But sometimes when I play it, I kind of go, and then I roll all the way down to the C. Oops, I'm a little high. And I don't think there's a right or wrong note to hit, just as long as you end up on the C. If you want to add that, it's not on that page. It's kind of a bonus if you want to go. All right. So that's one little extra thing that I wanted to mention. It wasn't a big deal when I played it earlier. I don't know if I did it with or without those extra little notes on the tail end. Okay. So can we see this okay? It's not backwards. Okay. We'll do it all the way through now on a sine angle. Goofed up. Let me start over. Thank you. Well, we hope you enjoyed this lovely rendition. My daughter would have been 26 this Wednesday, so I thought I'd do something that was kind of fun and upbeat and something that we could all enjoy musically. Hope you like the song choice. Hope you like the arrangement. I'll have everything posted tonight or tomorrow night. And so with that, I want to say keep playing music, stay safe, and mwah, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you for your
Thanks,
time.
Robert.
coming.
Thank you, Robert.
Thank you.